Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. It is my pleasure to introduce you to, although you may have seen him in many previous films, Matthias Schoenaerts.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Did I pronounce it close enough? Right.
Yeah,
for the new movie, Far From the Madding Crowd. When you see this movie, everybody's going to think you know everything there is to know about sheep from now on.
For sure.
You actually went to a farming camp, so to speak.
Yeah,
right?
we did a 2-week boot camp. So it's learning to shave them, wash them, debloat them, everything there is to know about them. Yeah.
What was interesting about that particular time in history? I mean, back then it seems like there was a more simplistic life that, you know, especially in relationship to your character and whatever, we didn't have the world's problems kind of on our shoulders.
Well, I think people were way more in check with nature. You know, they were living in relation to nature, and that affected their being, and there was a different kind of rhythm to life, and that, you know, brought a lot of peace. But at the same time, you know, the complexity, emotional complexity of the human psyche was also present back then, of course.
But it's an interesting chess game that goes on, as I don't want to give too much away when you see this movie, about this woman and 3 different men that kind of in and out of her life, and which one is she going to choose? And the audience, I think, kind of maneuvers in different ways during the course of the movie.
No, because I think all of these men represent different, have a different, you know, masculinity to them, or are different types of masculinity, and so I think people can completely relate to all of the characters. I think all the men can relate, of course, to all the men being portrayed, but also to Bathsheba, and I think all the women can also relate themselves to the male characters. So that's what I think is part of this you know, great work of art, is that everyone can identify with everyone to some extent.
And this is based on Thomas Hardy's classic novel, and it was also a film in the late 1960s. Did either one of those become resources for you?
No. I decided not to watch the film because I wanted to, you know, work on this film as if it was the first time that we were making it, because the original is such an iconic film. I didn't want it to affect my choices in any way. But I'm very curious to see it. So once all of this is over, I'm going to see it and see what their choices were and what their approach was.
Well, I can't thank you enough, and if I ever decide to go sheep dipping, I'm calling you to get some inside information.
Exactly, you call me.
Matthias, thank you so much.
Nice to
Really
meet you,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Bye-bye.
This is Scott Orlin. Until next time.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.